Hey, it's last week of vacation. Glenn Dietzel here. I can't be with you live on this week's Business Breakthrough Google Hangout, but you can get access to one of our top Google Hangouts. So enjoy it, use the content. I look forward to helping you command maximum fees and royalties for high-end programs and services.
Hello everybody, and welcome to yet another Google Hangout. And this, I believe, is probably the most important Google Hangout that I've done to date, because I'm going to show you today a little bit of what I teach my inner circle clients. These clients invest a lot of money because they're investing in themselves in business, which is the most important investment that you need to make today. And I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm here to show you and help you and assist you to become the company, the business owner, the entrepreneur that you really want. So whether or not you're an author, you're a speaker, you've got a coaching program, you're a consultant, you've got a small to medium-sized company, you're going to be able to take these systems and these principles, and you're going to be able to close deals a lot faster. And I'm really excited today to show you what I teach my clients around a whole new paradigm in which to execute. So I'm going to take you through a couple of formulas today. So you're going to want to make sure you take notes. You're going to want to definitely jot down some diagrams, and I'm going to help you think through very quickly a few calculations. So I don't want this to be intimidating. You're in safe hands here because you're with me, and I'm going to show you how I teach and how I educate my marketplace very strategically. You need to be able to do the very same thing, and most importantly and fundamentally, you're going to love the system that I'm going to show you today. This is all about market domination. It's either play big or go home. It's either dominate your market or, you might as well hang up right now, because business today is just too competitive. So you've got to be able to think competitively, and all of you definitely want an intelligent business, right? So you want to be able to think and act smarter. So what I'm going to show you today is super exciting. Why? Because it's going to profoundly impact in the next 30 minutes how you view your business and what you need to be doing in order to create quantum growth or business acceleration in your business immediately. And we all want that, right? Because we want to be able to close deals faster. Because when we do that, we've got, and by the way, in order to do that, you need to be able to create, you be able to impact yourself or be able to create for yourself the ability to become more influential and increase your status. Because people today that are more influential and increase their status are able to close deals quicker and faster, which means you have more time on your hands, which means that you can grow your business much, much faster than somebody else that's struggling because they don't understand how to implement, or they don't understand what I'm about to show you. If you're new to our Google Hangouts, I want to welcome you today. We've been covering a lot of simple systems, yet very profound, on how we pitch and close deals faster and quicker. This is about anybody that I know in today, and there's a lot of material out there today on how to create products, how to create services. I've been online for 10 years. I've immersed myself in spending about $350,000 in programs. There's probably nobody else that knows the industry of business acceleration better than myself, even if we just look at the standpoint of how much somebody's invested in. I've invested several $1 million back into my company to grow it, and you're going to benefit from that. And that's why my clients love this. All right, we've got one member of our team here on with us today, Ellen, an important member of the Awaken team. And those of you that are joining us around the world, you want to definitely, if you've been following us the last couple of weeks on how to diagram your competitive advantage so you can close deals very quickly over a cup of coffee, and I spent the last 2 Google Hangouts doing that, and I'm going to build on that today. So you're going to watch, you're going to be able to see some of the principles that I used last week, and you're going to be able to understand what I'm conveying, hopefully, even better and even faster. So until now, I've never showed anybody what I'm about to show you other than my inner circle clients or my stealth clients in our business, our new Guru Business Acceleration Program. So you're going to love it. I've got some of my utensils here, writing utensils like all of you have. And what I'm going to show you today is everything I show is based on case studies of our clients. And we've got thousands of case studies in over 120 industries today because we've been in this marketplace for the last 10 years. Let me just make sure my mute out my cell phone here so I can totally focus with you. All right, so our focus today is on number one dominance. All right, that's what we're focusing on, number one dominance to achieve quantum results. And what do we mean by quantum results? Well, linear growth isn't fast enough anymore. You've got a way of being able to, you must have a way of taking your company, going from here and going up to here right away, immediately. So this linear growth, the slow, sloping, or if you want to do this way here, but that's not fast enough anymore. So you've got to have a way of creating quantum leaps of accomplishment and results, and that's what we all are after, right? So I want to take you through a simple formula right now, and I want to help you think very, very strategically. So if I take a look at this simple formula here, this is a formula right here that a lot of people get hung up on. Because if you want the results that you really want, you're going to want to understand SP and E. And in fact, what I'm going to show you, we're going to build on this, okay? So SP times E equals R. Now, what is SP? SP is strategic positioning. So with SP, you want to write down strategic positioning. Find so many business owners. I found so many authors, people who are published, speakers. They really don't know what their competitive advantage is because they don't have any strategic positioning. So if you want to grow, either start your company or you want to scale it, you must have strategic positioning. And I showed you one of the hundreds of tools that we teach our clients over the last couple weeks on knowing how to convey your strategic positioning by diagramming out your competitive advantage, because your marketplace remembers visually and spatially. So you want to communicate in pictures. You want to be able to communicate, by contrasting, and I gave you some examples of that. All right. Now, if I were to look at a new client coming into our program, I ask clients, rate yourself in terms of strategic positioning. So a typical client might give themselves a 3 on strategic positioning because they really haven't thought through it. They might give themselves a 5 on, okay, these are scale, a 1 to 10, a 5 in execution, and give themselves a result, okay? So I want you to take this simple formula right now, and I want you to think through with me right now. SP, strategic positioning, what would you give yourself on a scale of 1 to 10? 10 meaning, man, you are so strategically positioned, and I define strategic positioning as this, that you know how to educate your marketplace to naturally bring them into your highest end program or service. Okay, so building leads isn't the problem. Building the right kind of leads who want to invest in your highest end programs and services, that's what's crucial. So that's how I define SP, or strategic positioning. When it comes to execution, it's knowing what to do, when to do it, and getting it done right away. Understanding that no longer are you going to be held by perfection, and many of you are, by perfectionism, or you're being held back by overthinking, which is the root of perfectionism. And so that's why when we start, when I start talking to a lot of people, when I have a chance to speak, start really helping people self-evaluate themselves. Remember, he or she who self-reflects the greatest controls marketplaces. So you want to give your marketplace a way to self-reflect on their problem. Now, some clients that come into our program, they might give themselves an SP of strategic positioning of 6 because they've been following us for a period of time. They've been following some of our Google Hangouts in the way that we've educated them very strategically above what all our competitors do. And they give themselves maybe a 7 on execution, and they give themselves a 42. When you multiply 6 times 7, you get a 42. All right. Now, the average client that comes to us, really, if they're really truly honest, they don't have the kind of focus that they want. They have zero ability to execute in the way that they want. They're trapped by the typical guru, the typical expert paradigm, and they're really honest with themselves, and they give themselves a 2 in the area of strategic positioning, a 4 in the area of execution, and the results that they really want, they give themselves an 8. All right? So let's take a look at this. All right? We just used 3 numbers. If we looked at the scale of 1 to 100, here's the danger of what I want you to understand. Even the person that gave themselves a 6 and a 7, right, which is above a 5, which you might think, okay, it's we're above. I give myself, I think I'm, creating some kind of momentum. On a scale of 0 to 100, they're not even at the 50% line. They're not even halfway. Somebody that gave themselves maybe an 8 or 7 would be slightly above or past the 50 mark line, okay, on our continuum here. But yet, on a, close to 100, they're not even close to creating the kind of paradigm shift that they want in their business, in the way that they pitch, in the way that they present, in the way that they communicate to their marketplace. And this is all today about knowing how to communicate faster and more strategically than what your competitors are doing, all right? And the cool thing is, what I'm showing you and teaching you, there's nobody teaching this today in today's marketplace. And again, I should have probably set forth at the very beginning, it's always a good thing to listen to what I'm saying, Google the concepts that I'm covering, and you'll know that, that there's nobody doing this. So, we got our little simple equation, right? However, what we haven't covered in this equation is the hidden variable in your business. All right, the hidden variable in your business. And I want to reveal this to you right now because I can just about guarantee that you don't understand this. And when you start taking a look at this, it's going to make a profound impact on how you are writing your book, putting your presentation together, whatever it is that you're doing, closing a deal. I'm all about, your twin tickets to freedom are sales and marketing. Marketing equals an assessment, and sales is a specific consultation toward a very specific recommendation. This is the recommendation age. Knowing how to triage a problem is crucial. So with that, just before I reveal the hidden secret, let's take a look here really quickly at one of the sunsets. Remember, I shared with you on our Google Hangouts. This is one of the this was the sunset of the week here at our international office, and over here the past week. So that's from actually from the Canadian Lake Home, and I wanted to share that with you. All right, remember we do this every week. We share a sunset view of the week, and the National Geographic has defined our area as the #1 place for sunsets in the world. So I want to celebrate that with you as one of our sunsets here this past week. All right, so let's take a look at our formula, okay? So there's a hidden or there's a missing variable, and I want to rewrite our equation here to help you, okay? So SP, strategic positioning, which means that not all leads are created equally. So you need to know how to educate that marketplace very strategically. Times execution, knowing what to do, when to do it, and how you're going to get it done. And then times a variable that I want to show you is going to truly give you the results that you want. We're all here about results. I know my clients are, right? Our clients are all, they invest in our programs because they want results. What are the results that you are giving your marketplace? How are you going to communicate that is crucial. So if we take a look at what I just showed you, we're going to take it one step further. SP times E, and our unknown variable is either a D or a T, which equals results. Okay, so strategic positioning times execution times a variable here, an unknown variable with a D or a T, will give you the results that you want and you're seeking. Now, what does this stand for? This unknown variable here stands for leverage. All right, leverage. Now, I wrote a green D and I drew out here for you a red T, because most companies and most authors, speakers, coaches, small business owners, medium-sized business owners come to us and they have no leverage. In fact, they have negative leverage. That's why I drew out, or I color-coded this. It's a D and a T. And if you don't know why I did that, and there's rhyme and reason why I've done this, if you don't know why, you're going to definitely want to go back to our blog. I want to definitely get the last couple of Google Hangouts so you understand very critically and strategically why you need to follow our intelligent business model to help you communicate what it is that you do so you can close deals quicker and faster and truly create a lifestyle business. All right? So what is that D? That green D is a dividend. Your business is either producing a dividend or it's being taxed. And that's the red T. Now, I don't know about you, but when I was in education, I hated taxes. I hated all, if I was making $50 an hour, because at one point in education I was making $50 an hour as a teacher, And, you know, after, and that times 8 hours a day, if you factor it out, works out to about $400, right? And then after union dues, after taxes, after benefits, and after all the other things that were taken away, I was left with under $200 take-home pay. Okay, and actually it was quite under $200 take-home pay. That's what I call a tax. All right, we're all taxed. We all understand taxes, and yet most entrepreneurs today don't really understand, and especially people that are having trouble scaling their business or even starting or following such bad advice that they realize that they inadvertently are taxing their business in a way that's not, and it's going to automatically not produce for you the kinds of results that you want in business. And I've seen this over and over and over again. So we want to eliminate the tax. We want to build out the proper dividend, and we all like dividends, right? If you're into investing in companies, you love when a company gives out a dividend, because it means that not only is hopefully your shares are growing, so not only is your company growing, but it's growing in such a way that it's allowing to pay the shareholders extra money. All right, now I'm going to show you a really cool way of building extra cash flow for your company, because everything is about cash flow. You want to be able to cash flow everything that you do. And if you're stuck and you're struggling, you don't know how to leverage some of these concepts about how to communicate your competitive advantage, execute faster, and be able to create leverage for your company. So we all want leverage, right? We all want the ability to leverage, so we maximize the return on our investment of time and energy. We want to be able to execute a lot faster, and we all want a better strategic position. So I want to be able to compare something with you, all right? So it's really important right now that you understand how I'm going to show you to compare two things. And in order to be able to do that, maybe you've seen this before. If you're new to our program, you need to understand the typical, what the typical experts and gurus teach versus what we teach our clients around the poor person's business funnel versus the freedom business funnel. So I'm going to share my screen here for just a couple of slides here, and I'm going to show you the poor person's business funnel. That's the poor person's business funnel. I'm not going to go through all the statistics there with you because I've done that in other programs. But if you take a look at 100 people to 15 people to 3 people to 1 person, that's what happens in today's business world. If you attract 100 people to $27 program, only 15 are going to move to the next level to a $49. Only 3 people at best are going to move to a $99 program, and only 1 person is going to move to a $500 program. It's going to give you the average value per client is $28.81 per client. You do all this effort, you create all this effort to attract clients, but yet if you don't have a way of educating your marketplace in a superior fashion than what your competitors are doing and what they're teaching, you're going to get stuck and you can't build a company off $28.81. Okay, remember, in strategic positioning, it's all about educating the right clients to invest in your highest end programs and services. So let's show you really quickly. I want to show you another slide here. So I'll just quickly show you this. And this is what we call the freedom business funnel. We educate our marketplace very strategically on the front end. That's what all of our clients do. They learn how to educate their marketplace. And you've probably seen hundreds of our testimonials where some of our clients start with a $27,000 program. Some of our clients start with a $5,000. Some of them start a little bit more conservatively just to get some momentum at $1,000. But they understand how to create dividends with their value, and so they have a way of denominating their value much more powerfully than what the typical experts and gurus are teaching in the marketplace today. So in essence, what we're doing is teaching all of our clients, and all of our clients use this. And how would you like to have a case study? Okay? A case study of a client, so you can take a look exactly what the client has done. Well, I'm going to show you a case study very shortly here. You're going to have access to it, and you're going to want to follow the very same principles that this person did. All right? And all of our clients have, but we've created a case study for you to take a look at that. And So basically what we're doing is we're moving away from the typical business funnel and we're inverting the business funnel. So we're going from the poor person's business funnel to the funnel of the what I call the freedom business funnel. This is how you begin to build quantum growth. Now we're going to build this into our formula, so you're going to love this, okay? I've done all the number crunching here for you, so you don't have to crunch any numbers. So if we take our formula now, okay? Let's remember our formula with the unknown variable right here, and I've drawn it out in red. Why? Because I don't want you following this model. So let's say somebody, is perfectly strategically positioned. All right? They're perfectly executing. So they've given themselves 10 and 10, and yet they're following the typical funnel, the typical business funnel model, the poor person's business funnel. And when you multiply those three numbers out, you get a number of 2,800, okay, for results. So results is 28. Now, we're looking on a continuum here, so it's important to understand this. So follow me here, okay? So we've got strategic positioning times execution times leverage, but this person is accidentally taxing themselves, okay? Hence, we're drawing this out in red. 10 times 10 times 28 is 2,800. Now, let's compare. Remember, we're comparing now. Let's compare that to somebody who's executing at only an average level of 5. They're only, or strategically positioned, they're at a 5. They're educating at only a 5, but yet they're closing a $5,000 program, just like Dennis and hundreds of our clients are doing right now. And if you multiply that out, you're getting 125,000. Okay, so 5 times 5 times 5,000. 5 times 5 times 5 is 125 plus 3 zeros, 125,000. Now, let's compare that, all right? So that was in comparison to our last number here, 2,800. All right, so we're comparing these two numbers here. You see this here? Here's our formula. Our strategic positioning times execution times leverage equals results. There's our first set of numbers here, 2,800. Our second set of numbers following the freedom business funnel here. So truly giving themselves a dividend as opposed to a tax. And if we take a look at those numbers here, 125,000 over 2,800 equals 44.6 times more effective. This client here, and these are why my clients are able to move so much faster. Clients like Dennis, and you're going to have access to an amazing case study here very shortly, and I could show you, hundreds of them. But I think you're really going to like Dennis because he's got a really cool backstory. 125,000 over 2,800, 44.6 times more effective. Now, what does that mean? That means that as a percent, he is operating and this person was operating at 4,460% greater than the person that's using the wrong model. The wrong leverage, in fact, they've got negative leverage. Yeah, and that's even with perfect execution and perfect strategic positioning. So I want you to understand that. Look at the difference in those two models. Now, let's take a look at something really cool here. I've drawn this all out for you right here. And let's look at strategic positioning times execution times leverage. That's 10 times 10 times 5,000 is 5,000. Okay, so we're now instead of 5 and 5 here, this person is giving themselves, following our predictable, measurable systems, perfectly strategically positioned for high-end programs and services, executing at the highest level because they know how to execute using the new Guru Business Acceleration System. They're closing a $5,000 program, and what is if we multiply those three numbers, strategic positioning times execution times leverage, the results are at 500,000. Now we take 500,000 here and we put that over 2,800. Look at the number here. Look at what this person now is operating 179 times faster and better, more efficiently than the person using the typical expert guru advice. And what does that translate to in terms of a percent? This person is operating at 17,857% more efficiently, more effectively That's how my clients get the kind of results that they want. They create massive quantum leaps with their ability to strategically position, execute, and they're using the right business model. So I want you to write that down. Using the right business model is crucial. So let me show you inadvertently what most people do. Okay, let me just show you very specifically. Most people are doing this. Okay, here is a condemned home. All right, condemned home that is actually located in the city of Detroit. We're about a half an hour from the city of Detroit. The outskirts of Detroit, about an hour downtown. So this is a home, a condemned building in the city of Detroit. Now, what are most people doing today? Inside of a condemned model, that was our unknown variable, that is our leverage. So they've got no leverage, and what are they doing? Well, here's what they're trying to do. Inside of that condemned building, they're doing this. They're spending all this time putting in a beautiful kitchen inside of a condemned building, and that's the problem with so many people that I see today who are struggling in business, is they're not using a better business model. You want to act smarter, right? You want a more intelligent business model, then you've got to make sure that you give yourself the leverage. So stop putting in a $40,000 kitchen inside of a condemned building. That's how you're inadvertently giving yourself a tax, an unwanted tax. I don't know one person who enjoys paying taxes. But you're giving yourself inadvertently a tax to your company because you have no leverage. So if you want to grow an intelligent business, you need strategic positioning, knowing how to educate your ideal clients to only select you. And you need the ability to be able to create your business, your education, the way you educate them inside of a model that's going to give you a business model. That's going to give you the kind of leverage that you want. Are you getting this? Are you seeing that whatever you're doing, you've got to stop? Well, my oldest son, Callum, when he was in kindergarten, he came home one day, he goes, Dad, he showed us, he goes, you got to stop, drop, and roll when you smell smoke in a house. So I want you to do right now, I want you to stop, I want you to drop, and I want you to roll and get yourself out of the typical paradigm that you're operating from, so you begin to understand how to create a lifestyle business and how to profoundly impact, because we're all in business, right? We're all in business because we want to create more leverage. We want to be able to reach a greater marketplace. We're tired. I don't know about you. Are you tired of losing in the marketplace to people that don't even know, 1/10 of what you know? You need a better and you need a superior way of educating that market. All right? So what I showed you today is I showed you a simple formula. So if we go through this really quickly here, let me just get out the original formula here that we had. I gave you a formula. We started off by focusing again on how to create dominance in your market. Right? It's all about positioning yourself as number one. You can't position yourself as number one following the typical expert guru advice. Greater sameness will not get you better results. So you need to know how to execute quicker. I took you through a formula. I said that the typical formula of strategic positioning times execution, as good as that is not good enough, because when I showed you on a scale, even if you're 10 and 10 here, but you've got no leverage here, like this person here, let me get that person. That person right here, that person here gave themselves a 10 and 10, but operating just like I showed you with the typical business funnel at only a 28 average sale price of $28. That's on the scale now. We've gone out of the scale of 1 to 100, right? Because we've added another variable, the unknown variable. The problem is this client here is taxing him or herself. So this unknown variable here that I introduced to you is leverage, and you're either leveraging your company negatively as a form of a tax, or you're leveraging your company and your advice in the form of creating dividends. And that's why many of our clients love our certification and co-branding program, because as we're showing them how to build their company very strategically, they're doing something even better. And if you haven't got our manifesto yet, make sure you go to newgurumodel.com/manifesto. Get it. Because it's going to show you how to package your advice so strategically. If you're going to package your advice, you might as well do it at the highest level. That's going to take you less time and allow you to start closing deals really quickly and allow you to standardize your marketplace. So I took you through an example here of our formula, SP times E times L. I gave an example here of somebody executing using our proven measurable systems, giving themselves a 10 and 10 times a $5,000 program, execute. So that gives them on our results continuum a 500,000 versus that person that I just showed you that's executing at a 2,800 rating on our results continuum. And if we divide those two numbers, we get some shocking differences. And you've got to see that. If I don't shock you into what you're doing right now, because I see so many well-meaning people, and every day I try to reach out to people. We've got a queue of people that want to invest with us, talk to us. And so one of the things that we do is we educate them on what it is that we do, so that they understand better, and more importantly, that when they make an intelligent investment, just like your potential clients, when they're ready to invest with you, they make a better investment decision. And not only that, but when they make an investment with you, they already understand your paradigm, so they get to execute even faster. So they can leverage SP, strategic positioning. They can execute faster, and our clients use a better business model. That gives them the dividend. All right, so that's a little plug for our manifesto, certification, co-branding. You want to understand how to package your advice today. Never has it been more important in knowing how to triage your advice. And we're going to have more to say about that on other Google Hangouts, because I'm going to show you a whole new way of structuring your advice so you can get the kinds of results that you want by positioning yourself and giving yourself the kind of influence and status that you really want. Because when you have that again, it means that you've got better posturing in the marketplace, which means you're bringing your ideal clients to you that appreciate what it is that you can do, and they become your best clients. How do I get clients like Dennis, who are able to close a $1.24 million deal within 8 weeks, 2 months of working with me? Within 6 weeks, closing his very first $60,000 coaching program, business coaching program from scratch, with no joint venture partners, no business traction at all. How does that happen? Well, I want to share with you a case study. All right, this is a private link, so I'm going to share this link to you, and I'm sharing it with you, all of you, but I appreciate if you don't share it. All right, this is one of the rewards about following us. And by the way, if you like what you're hearing, please, we don't have the best platform right now, but you can use our blog. We got a lot of things happening behind the scenes, but you can use a blog, and please, let us know what you think, comments, questions, and all of that. But your next actionable step that I would highly recommend, if you really want to take some of these concepts that I covered today and see them in work with one of my clients so that you can apply them even faster, because I'm a teacher, right? It's one thing to be able to be successful. It's another thing to teach people to be successful. That's why the skill sets of making it in business and the skill sets of teaching are completely separate. That's why our clients love our programs, because they learn how to do those dually, which means they can raise the educational level of their marketplace. What does that do? That puts them in the superior position. That gives them number one standing in the marketplace. Pretty cool, right? And I know you want that. I want that, because I want to make things easier for myself. I want a lifestyle business. You're going to meet some amazing clients in our program, but the next step, what I'd recommend is this. I want you to text EAGLE at 248-469-4376. Text the word EAGLE, 248-469-4376, and I'm going to send you a case study. Promise me that you're not going to share that with anybody. It's only for your eyes, because you're following what I'm doing. You're getting this. And most importantly, you want the kinds of results that my clients want, right? And modeling is the number one way that you can move forward quickly. It's the application. Remember on a previous Google Hangout, I showed you how the 3 modalities of learning, attitudes, skills, and knowledge, how they play together, and how if you know how to leverage that, you know how to close deals a lot faster than writing a book, putting a presentation together, doing a webinar, doing all that other stuff. And I'm not saying that's not important, but if you don't know how to strategically educate your market, strategic positioning is crucial. Educate them so powerfully. You don't know how to execute faster than what you're doing right now. If you don't know how to create the kind of dividends that you want from your advice, right? That's the better model that I showed you, the better business model. I proved to you today why the advice of typical experts and gurus is so faulty, and why ordinary people coming to us, and some of our best results were with clients like Dennis that had no traction in the online world, how they're able to become a lot superior in their positioning and get the kind of results that they always want because they model the best. So I want to help you model. All right, I'm an educator, so I want to help you model the best. Text EAGLE, E-A-G-L-E, and the text us. Text me here to 248-469-4376, 248-469-4376. I will share with you a private link on a case study. You're going to be impressed with the case study, and most importantly, you're going to be able to start applying what I'm covering faster and quicker. I don't know about you, but everybody that I work with, and when people come to me, they let me do the work, they let the system do the work, so they get to take smarter action. They get to earn smarter because they got a better system. But everybody that I work with is a case study. So I'd love to hear from you. Love to hear how you're taking these principles and appropriating them into your business and closing deals faster and quicker, both B2B, business to business, and business to client. What I'm showing you is revolutionary. It's revolutionized my business right from day one, 10 years ago when I started getting this. And not only that, but in today's market, it's allowed me to have more free time so I can invite the kinds of people that I want to the Canadian Lake Home, and I get to work with them with a one-day intensive, and I get a chance to just work with the most wonderful people because I've created the kind of ROIT business. You don't know what ROIT is, you need to make sure you get to a former Google Hangout that I talk about 10 business acceleration principles to leverage, so you can create the kind of business that you really want. Anyways, I am super excited for you. I am really honored that you spent time with me. You've invested time with me. I've invested time with you. And I can't recommend strongly enough that if you really want better results, you're going to want to copy and follow what my clients are doing. Text EAGLE, E-A-G-L-E, 248-469-4376. EAGLE at 248-469-4376. And I look forward to assisting you to model the best. Success leaves tracks, all right? And I'm trying to show you today and prove to you that if you do what I'm telling you to do, you're going to get the kinds of results that you've always dreamed of in business. So you can do the things that you want. When I talk about a lifestyle business, it's about going from frustration to freedom. The freedom to be able, for me, to be able to travel, to be able to run my company anywhere in the world, any Starbucks, and to be able to give back in the way that I want to give back to the organizations that I support and the charities that I love. So anyways, I look forward to our next Google Hangout. Live from the international office, this is Glenn Dietzel here. Please let us comment. And again, I gave you an amazing case study so that you can appropriate these concepts. We covered today, and we went through again a whole new way, a whole new formula of positioning yourself, a whole new way of stealthily executing, creating strategic positioning using a better business model so you know how to step up your advice and position it to command top dollar and execute right now. Remember, everything is about speed to market, speed to market, speed to market. I look forward to our next Google Hangout together.